Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and today we continue the Nintendo Direct talk, but more specifically, Nintendo Switch Online, and two very amazing consoles that could be made available to us this February on Nintendo Switch Online. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we go too deep into the video, if you are new here, first thing, thank you so much for being here. It means so much to me that you're here. Consider subscribing and clicking that bell for notifications and join one of the best Nintendo communities here on YouTube. Thank you so much, and let's get straight into the video. All right, so today let's start off with the Nintendo DS. Did you know that there are over 3,468 games in the Nintendo DS? Yes, there is no way that Nintendo will port all these games. Therefore, these games have to live somewhere, right? The Nintendo DS had so many amazing games. It was revolutionary. Right now, the Nintendo DS holds the #1 spot for most sold console ever. Right now, the Nintendo Switch is trying to catch up. And so with this amazing record of it being the best-selling console for Nintendo, the question is, why isn't it yet on NSO? And so there is a huge possibility that the Nintendo DS could be added to NSO. Now here are my top 5 games for Nintendo DS if they do decide to add it in this February's Nintendo Direct, and then we'll move over to the next console. Now, my first game pick will be Animal Crossing Wild World, and this game is an amazing game to bring to Nintendo Switch Online. Not only that, but with the success of Animal Crossing New Horizons, so many fans that were able to play prior Animal Crossing games can do so on Nintendo Switch Online. The next game that I would love to bring to NSO is Pokemon Conquest. I mean, there is no reason why we don't have more Pokemon games online. Pokemon Conquest is an amazing game that was out on the Nintendo DS. It sold so many copies on Nintendo DS, and I feel that it is time to have Pokemon Conquest on Nintendo NSO. The next game that I believe should be made available on Nintendo Switch Online is Advance Wars Dual Strike. This game was launched on August 22nd, 2005, and I believe it is a great addition to have on Nintendo Switch Online. For those fans of Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, they can go back in time and play Advance Wars on Nintendo Switch Online. So the next game that I believe should be on Nintendo Switch Online, and this one is just crazy that it's not available just yet, is Kirby Mass Attack. I mean, every Kirby game is such a fun game to play, and with this one added to NSO from the Nintendo DS, we would actually have a great collection of Kirby games on NSO. Let's move on to the next game. The next game will be Dragon Quest IX. Now, Dragon Quest is an amazing series. Right now, we have Dragon Quest Monsters that sold 1 million copies over the past month. Now, imagine all these fans of Dragon Quest learning about past Dragon Quest games that they were able to play back in 2010. And with Dragon Quest IX Online, these players will have an opportunity to go back and play Dragon Quest IX. And my last pick for Nintendo DS that hopefully you can see this game on Nintendo Switch Online is The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Now, I know there's a whole bunch of other games that can make the list, like Mario games and others, but we have to start somewhere, so I wanted to give you my top 5 games. And The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks is a perfect pick because basically our goal is to get all Zelda games on NSO or on Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2. So The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks is my last pick for the Nintendo DS Online at launch, right? We know that Nintendo will continue to add more games. If they do add the DS to Nintendo Switch Online, they'll continue to add more games over time. But so far, these are my top 5 picks. Now, let's move over to the next console that needs to be on Nintendo Switch Online today. Yes, you saw the thumbnail. Yes, you read the title. I am talking about the GameCube. Now, before you say, but Mike, Nintendo is porting games from GameCube to Nintendo Switch. There's no need for the GameCube to be on NSO. Do you know how many GameCube games exist? Well, let me tell you. There are over 650 games on GameCube. And Nintendo will never port 650 games on GameCube. And by the way, I'm going to give you my top 5 games. Neither of these games will ever be ported to Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 because basically these are games that are not really in high demand, but they have their following. And I'm going to start again with Animal Crossing. The very first Animal Crossing game is on GameCube. GameCube basically was the initial console for this game. It initially started on Nintendo 64 in Japan, but then it was ported to the GameCube with better graphics, better resolution, and an overall better game, right? So the next game that should be added to NSO, Nintendo Switch Online GameCube console, is Mario Sunshine. Although, yes, this game was launched together with Mario All-Stars, that 35th anniversary edition, which, by the way, it's not sold in stores anymore. Nintendo, I guess, discontinued it. This game should also live on Nintendo Switch Online in the GameCube library just because of its history. It's Mario Sunshine, right? We need to have it on Nintendo Switch Online. There are other games that Nintendo are porting, like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is being ported. Pikmin 2 has already been ported. Luigi's Mansion has already been ported. But how about F-Zero GX? Yes, that is my third pick. F-Zero GX. If Nintendo is giving up on the F-Zero franchise, hopefully they're not, but they are not making any more games, at least give us F-Zero GX on Nintendo Switch Online. That's my third pick for NSO. My fourth pick for NSO is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Of course, we need Super Smash Bros. Melee with the online feature that you can play online against other players. Having Super Smash Bros. Melee would be basically open the door for competitions to use NSO as their method of playing Melee, right? It's just a no-brainer to have this game added to NSO. So Super Smash Bros. Melee is a game we know will never get ported, but needs to live on Nintendo Switch Online. A next game that should live on Nintendo Switch Online is Mario Kart Double Dash. Yes, you heard me right. Mario Kart Double Dash is a game that should live on Nintendo Switch Online with the millions and millions of fans that Mario Kart has. Double Dash is just a no-brainer and should live on NSO. I think it will add so much value to NSO, right, on the expansion pack side. And Mario Kart Double Dash is just a no-brainer. We need to have Mario Kart Double Dash on Nintendo Switch Online. There are so many features in Double Dash that don't exist anywhere else. And so with Double Dash on Nintendo Switch Online, with the ability to play online against your friends, I think this is a no-brainer. Nintendo, you should bring Double Dash in NSO. And my last game, again, this is my last game of my pick, but it is not the last game because we all know that once Nintendo adds the GameCube to NSO this February, and I'm going to go ahead and speak it out so that the atmosphere can hear me, and I'm going to speak it into existence. Nintendo will bring the GameCube to NSO and also the DS. This last game is one of my favorite because I grew up with this game. I love it so much. It was so much fun playing it. It is made by Sega, and I'm talking about Super Monkey Ball. Yes, Super Monkey Ball is a game, a beautiful game that could be added to NSO with online capabilities because it has so many mini games within it, and it has these amazing puzzles. And so I remember the first time I played Super Monkey Ball on GameCube, I was just completely blown away. And I love Super Monkey Ball, and it should be living on NSO forever. So guys, those are my top games that should live on NSO from now on. Now, let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think of my picks? Did I miss your favorite game? Leave it down below. You can also write down your favorite games or your top 5 games for Nintendo DS and for GameCube. I am so sure that these consoles are making it to NSO eventually. There are so many games out there that need to be living on NSO just because they're not going to be ported, guys. That's the reality of things. Nintendo will not port these smaller titles, and I believe that these games will be perfect for Nintendo Switch Online. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and let me know what other titles or what other content related to the Nintendo Direct would you love me to cover. I will see you in the next adventure here at the Odyssey, but before I let you go, never give up, and journey on. Peace.